Some of my earliest memories of nature are going to Lake Erie and seeing this pea soup green water, the beaches covered in the shells of invasive mussels that would cut your feet up. It kind of set the stage for a career where I wanted to understand and improve the environment and improve this place that was my backyard. My name is Katie O'Reilly. I am the Aquatic Invasive Species Specialist with Illinois-Indiana Sea Grant and the Illinois Natural History Survey. And my job is essentially talking to people about science, talking about invasive species. So I do a bit of research, a bit of education, and then tie it all together to communicate it to people and get them to take action against invasive species. The one problem, or one of the many problems with invasive species, is that once they get to a place and they get a foothold, it's really tough to get rid of them. One of the examples is the zebra and quagga mussels in the Great Lakes region. Arrived in like the 1980s. Since that time, they've just taken over and we don't have a way of dealing with them. So really the biggest thing with invasive species that we promote and we encourage people to do is to prevent them before they are introduced to an ecosystem in the first place. It's incredibly important to talk about invasive species outside of our little academic bubbles because the main driver of invasive species is humans. And unfortunately, humans are a lot more difficult to study and understand than fish. And we have to understand why people make the choices they do. So that really comes down to having conversations with folks, everything from a fisherman on a pier to a congressperson, at all different levels to understand what are different actions we can take to help protect our ecosystems from invasive species. And part of that is understanding the impacts that these species could have so that people can understand the risks involved. I think the science community has not historically been great with policy. We've sometimes wanted to keep ourselves separate from policy, like two distinct spheres. And while there's value to that, science is objective, we also live in a world where science and policy are intertwined because there is sort of a need to put that science into practice. The research that we do in the labs, for it to actually have an impact in the real world, so to say, needs to have that buy-in from communities, buy-in from policymakers. My call to action to AFS members is to really think outside of your academic bubble or your management bubble. We are the experts in our field, and I don't mean that in like an arrogant way, like we're experts, we know better. It's that we have information that other people don't, and it's our responsibility as scientists, as natural resource managers, to communicate that to people. Now more than ever, science needs to be recognized, it needs to be communicated, and who better to do that than the scientists?